Hello everyone and welcome to the FPL Cougars show. I'm Chris.
I'm Kieran.
And today we are previewing Game Week 1. In this show we'll be analysing each upcoming Game Week fixture, predicting the potential key players, differentials and working out where those clean sheets might come from. We end by discussing captaincy, revealing our teams as well as FPL Cougar Cup picks, so a little more on that later. But before we get into the show, just want to take a moment to say if you haven't subscribed to us yet on the platform you're currently watching or listening to, then you should do that right now. I'll even stop for a moment so you don't miss anything. Okay, Kieran and I are going to be previewing every game week this season, and it would be great to have you with us. I should also say that we're very active on Twitter. If you're not following us already, you can find us at FPL Cougars, which is all one word. Now, the exciting bit, Kieran. Let's get right into the action. It's Liverpool against Norwich on Friday Night Football. Whew,
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Friday night, so yeah, don't forget that deadline. Yeah, can't wait. Excited. I think it's going to be a Liverpool bloodbath, right? Surely.
I think so.
I think Salah looked really fit and sharp in the Community Shield, so I think he's 100% nailed on captain for most, if not all, of the community. I think he's only like 36% owned at the moment, so yeah, maybe like a third of the people aren't even going to have him in their squad, which seems crazy. But yeah, if you don't have him right now, I'd say get him because you might be 30 odd points behind by the end of Game Week 1. What do you think about Salah captain?
Yeah, I think we'll talk more about captaincy a bit later, but it's looking likely. I mean, he looked so active, didn't he, in the Community Shield game yesterday?
Yeah, he had 10 shots, 4 on target, 2 against the woodwork, 1 off the line. So against City, who are probably one of the best defensive teams, Norwich Friday night under the lights, opener of the season. Yeah, he could be on for a big haul. Like I've heard people talk about a triple captain on the first week. Salah, it's a possibility. He should be doing well.
Another reason to get excited about Salah, I think, is because Mane's out, and usually when Mane's out, there's no one in that forward line for Salah to not pass to.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't doing very much passing yesterday, but I mean, even less so. So you think most of the attacking play is going to go through him. So I think it may not be a bad shout to triple captain, but I won't be doing it.
I've seen a video today on Liverpool or something that said Mane was like back in the building, looked like he's training now. So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts, But yeah, I wouldn't say get him. He might start on the bench, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does start though.
No, I think Norwich is all the perfect opening home fixture for Liverpool. So they conceded, I think it was 13 clean sheets out of 46 they kept last season. I think they had the worst defensive record of anyone that came up, and managed 1 clean sheet in pre-season and 12 goals scored to 11 conceded. So they're pretty sort of like bang average in terms of goals scored and goals conceded. I feel like Liverpool's attacking threat last season at home was incredible. I think it was 2.8 goals averaged per game. So I do feel like this is going to be a big score. But is it the other end of the pitch you're a little bit worried about? Liverpool defensively?
Well, yeah. Alexander-Arnold was taken off or rotated around 60 odd minutes in the Community Shield, wasn't he? Had a poor game all around, bad crossing, bad defending. But he's not going to face Sterling every week. And he usually thrives in really in games that against bad opposition, really. So I think this is a game perfect for him still. I think he'll still start. I still have him in my squad. I think people have probably been put off, so great. Get off him because less people, then more points for me. I can see him getting a 2 assists, maybe clean sheet in this one. I think he'll haul.
Big scores. On the Norwich side of things, do you see anyone from their team that sort of impressed you in pre-season?
Not really, honestly. There's been a few of them that have done okay, but no, none that I want to really put in my squad. Pookie's been kind of quiet, who's obviously their main sort of like player that everyone kind of knows about with the Pookie party and stuff. But I can't really see Norwich doing much here. It would be annoying to see them get that clean sheet wipeout for Liverpool, but I think hopefully there's enough attacking returns that it wouldn't even matter for the fullbacks this game. Yeah,
but I mean, after scoring 29 goals and 43 last season, I think Pookie's had just 1 in a pre-season so far. He's still less.
Yeah, 1 assist as well.
Yeah, less than 4% owned. It's the other player. Is it Durmic? I should have learned how to pronounce that.
Durmic, I think.
Durmic, okay.
Yeah.
He's been playing really well in pre-season. He scored 4 goals, priced at 5.5 for a striker, but he didn't start the last pre-season game. So
yeah, I'm not sure he's nailed on. Yeah.
No, so I think it's a difficult opening sort of fixture run as well for Norwich. So thinking it's going to be quite an easy Liverpool win in this one.
Yep, and it's just trying to pick who's going to definitely start in that back line. Obviously, Robertson's pretty safe. Van Dijk, I think, is still a good option at 6.5 because he got that assist. He's always a threat in the box. I could see an Alexander-Arnold corner to Van Dijk's head. That could happen very easily. Even I would assume Matip is going to be first choice. He came on and did really well. Looked a lot more solid when he came on. Maybe that was because Trent went off and he was just having a bad game. But I think it's Matip's place to lose, really. 5.5 million. He could be worth gambling on, but you're going to miss out points on the attacking returns from the rest.
Definitely. I think Matip was really important to them, wasn't he? Back end of last season, he played in some really big games.
Yeah.
Obviously, Champions League final as well, and I think he got the assist in the Champions League final for that Origi goal.
Yeah.
He did. Being a nuisance in the box as well. So, I think I think he'll be vying with Gomez for that centre back partnership with Van Dijk, which just remains to be seen how that sort of impacts Trent if Gomez is going to get switched out there like he did yesterday.
I would take Trent getting to 60 odd minutes, clean sheet intact with a few assists and going off. Fine. But like we've seen, he's pretty much the main man in these games where they could just attack because Klopp knows he's so good at that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think I'm still keeping him.
Cool. All right. Well, should we move on to the Saturday midday game, which is West Ham against Man City? I feel like because West Ham have got this tricky sort of opening game, I haven't really considered any of their assets. But after Man City, they're looking quite good.
Yep.
Has anyone impressed you in their pre-season?
I've been looking at their forwards, haven't we? Their forward line of Fornals, Haller, Lanzini, and Anderson. They're great players. Haller's looked pretty good. Yeah, he said that he likes to kind of play the ball off him and bring other players into play and stuff like that, which seems to have been the case in his returns in pre-season. So 1 goal and 2 assists, 7.5 million, quite expensive. He's already 5.8% owned, which I think is quite a lot for him at the start. But he could be the bandwagon for sure if he gets anything against City. And their fixtures afterwards are really good. 7.5 slightly awkward. I mean, that's why I kind of do want Wilson on my team to maybe have to be able to go to Haller at some point. But he looks decent. And Lanzini as well. I loved him last season. Didn't really do much when he came back. But I do like him as a player. Three goals so far in pre-season. No assists though. So I usually think that's his sort of bread and butter. But he can improve in that, obviously. 6.5 million, 1.1% owned, so he's huge differential, and I think he'd do well. There's no reason why West Ham can't score against City, especially at home. But you would expect City to keep it pretty tight. They looked maybe a little bit unlucky to concede to Liverpool in the Community Shield. I mean, no Laporte. I think Laporte will make a big difference. He should be fit to start for this game. I think Pep said he was close to starting the Community Shield. They just didn't want to risk him. So I think he'll start this one for sure. I don't know. Clean sheet for Man City. What do you think?
Who do you think is going to partner Laporte this season? Then you think it's going to be Stones or Otamendi?
I think it's Stones. Yeah. Okay. But you can't say for sure.
No.
I think Stones is favoured.
It's strange, really, for a team that had such a good defensive record last season. I think it was 19 or 20 clean sheets they kept. We can't really definitely rely on any of their defenders bar Laporte. It seems like today, is it Cancelo who's being bought from Juventus, provide a bit of competition for Walker. Mendy tweeted back to a sort of an FPL community member yesterday that he invest in Mendy because he's going to be back soon. Obviously, we've got the other boy come back from PSV, who I've just totally blanked on his name. Angelino, knocking at the door for Zinchenko when he has another bad game, because I thought he was poor yesterday.
He was really bad,
I know he was up against Salah, but I mean, Salah had him on toast, and obviously that's going to worry Pep a little bit. And you and I both know from watching Stones for England, he's never really convinced, and as a defensive prospect, his passing is unreal and his vision, but I mean, from a defensive point of view, he's always a bit suspect, and Otamendi was a bit all over the show yesterday. So it's a place I want to go, the Man City defence, but I don't know if I really want to spend 6.5 on Laporte at this stage of the season.
Yeah, but the problem with Zinchenko, he's going to be a transfer waiting to happen, and you don't know exactly when that will be. If Pep even says Mendy's going to start this game or something. So you're always sort of worried that he's not going to start or will start. So yeah, I'm not sure I want that risk attached. Maybe I will still go there because I think he'll probably be fine for the first 2 at least. But then you have to make a transfer with him really at that point, which is annoying for someone. 5.5 million is quite a lot to say that you have to transfer him out at some point.
I mean, when you compare, I know it's a million difference. When you compare Zinchenko to Laporte's points per minute last season, it was quite a big swing for Laporte. So he averaged 5 points per game. 5 points per game he averaged last season. Zinchenko down on 3.1, and considering he played so much less, that's such a huge swing for Laporte there. So I think if you can find that extra million to get from Stones, Zinchenko, Otamendi up to Laporte, or even that 0.5 from Walker, then I think it's definitely worth doing. But it's proving difficult at the moment.
I'm not sure I fully trust their defense either, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see what happens come deadline. I think we would have been punished last year if you didn't have him. I think you were, weren't you?
Yeah.
In their like 8 run clean sheet or something was at the start of the season, and I had Edison at that point, and I was reaping the rewards. But yeah, so don't want to miss out on that for sure.
No, I mean their run is so good. So they've got West Ham away, they got that difficult Spurs game at home, but they kept a clean sheet in that one last season. Bournemouth and then Brighton and then Norwich following. So I mean, there's 5 decent-looking games for them, and obviously they are defending champions. I think they kept clean sheets in 4 of those 5 games last season. I think they're looking good. And pre-season, they have looked a little bit. I mean, they've won 3 of their 5 games. They've only kept 1 clean sheet. The same for West Ham. They've only kept 1. I could see goals in this one at both ends, to be honest, despite what I've said about City's clean sheet prospects.
Yeah, maybe. It's hard to tell. Yeah, there could be goals. There could be a clean sheet. It's likely either way. I mean, do you want to talk about Sterling a second? Is he essential?
Yeah, go 100%. For it. I think so. It's looking really good, isn't it? Or he was this pre-season and yesterday. 7 goal involvements in pre-season, 5 goals from that. Obviously played centre forward yesterday and picked up a goal. Could have had another goal or assist. Hit the post on that offside chance.
Yep.
I think he's looking really good.
Yeah, I've got do not overthink this one in capital letters. Like just get him. Like it's. I don't think KDB isn't him alone is enough. No. If someone's thinking about going Kane, Salah, KDB, no, I think just get Sterling. He's going to be worth it. I think you get him, you keep him all season.
I think he'll run Salah really close for finishing top point scorer this season. I think it'll be closer than last year. I'm still not sure if he'll do it because Pep does rotate every so often and Salah plays every damn minute. But I think Sterling's going to run him really close.
I'm even tempted to sort of captain him. It's a real temptation because if Salah wasn't playing Norwich, I think Sterling would quite easily be in a shout of captain. Because just his form in pre-season and the form in a Community Shield game. Tempting, but probably won't do it. Salah's the obvious choice, but Sterling is a very close second.
All right, should we move on to talking about Bournemouth against Sheffield United? Because there's a fair bit of interest in this. Bournemouth have quite a tasty start to the season. Some good fixtures. They played 2 of the promoted sides in the first 2 games. Wilson bagged, was it a goal and 2 assists in his last pre-season game? I believe it was.
He's got 2 assists and 3 goals overall in pre-season. So
he's looking good. Do you think? I mean, we've talked about it quite a few shows now, but Wilson's still justifying that 1.5 million for you over King?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I talk about it later. I don't have him in my squad at the moment. I do really want him though. I'm trying to find a way to get him and Fraser. But yeah, he looks great. Hopefully Fraser can possibly cover him. I'm not sure. I think that was your thinking before in our last drafts. But that last game against a decent side in Lyon. Was it Lyon? Yeah, it was Lyon. Goal, 2 assists. He looks fresh, on fire. So.
Yeah, I think that the only sort of slight caveat I have about this one is just how good Sheffield United have looked in pre-season in terms of their defensive displays. They've sort of switched formation. It seems they're playing 5-3-2 at the moment in quite a lot of their games. And I think it's Lundstrom, their defensive... he's a 4.0 price defensive player in the FPL game, and he's actually playing in midfield. He looks like he's going to be the only 4.0 defender starting this season. I
don't know.
I was going to say maybe Grant. In this game as well.
Yeah.
I just feel like Sheffield United look quite solid. They only conceded 41 last season. I know it's obviously a different league, but 3 clean sheets in pre-season as well. I think they could hold out against Bournemouth here. Maybe reduce them to a single goal.
Maybe.
You don't sound convinced, Keeg.
Well, I think they could for sure. So that's why I really want double Bournemouth and I want them to do well. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not sure. And at the same time, I'm like, everyone's going double Bournemouth, and if I don't go Fraser and Wilson, and they do really well, then I could be screwed. So again, it could go either way because Sheffield United have looked good at the back. But it's a step up. Bournemouth can, on their day, like we saw against Brighton last season, they 5-0 winners. They on their day they can smash anyone.
Yeah.
Well, not anyone, but any poor team anyway. So I think it looks likely that Bournemouth will do well, but this could be the upset that we're all sort of expecting. Yeah, at least one sort of upset.
I've got a historical stat to drop on you.
Okay.
Bournemouth have lost their last 4 games against Sheffield United. Whew. It dates back to 2011, so it doesn't mean anything, Kieran.
No, but it's a long time ago.
It's a good historical stat for you there. Do you want to say, Rico? We should just touch on him briefly because we mentioned him then. Looks like he's going to start, doesn't he?
A lot of people on Twitter seem to think that Rico or the last game was against Lyon, that the starting back four for the season started that game, which was Cook, Ake, Smith, and Rico. And I think Daniels is still injured, and Rico seems to be the first choice replacement, because I think is it Francis, the club captain as well? I think he's injured too. So Rico looks like the one who's coming in, and at 4 million, I've even looked at starting him. And
no.
For those first 2 games, I mean, why not, right?
Because Bournemouth's defence is notoriously awful.
Well, obviously, but 4 million to possibly put other funds elsewhere, it could be really good.
But not to start him, surely.
Maybe.
You just get annoyed with him straight away.
True. But I could see him possibly getting a clean sheet and chipping in with a unlikely assist to Wilson or something. So, I think he's worth a go just for the bench, possibly.
All right. Well, I know someone.
Or start him if you're feeling free.
I don't like this idea. One player I do like the idea of is Fraser, because he's been playing well, and I spoke about it on the show last time. Said that I think he was a good alternate to Wilson, but he's just keeps proving his worth. So I think he's 1 assist and 2 goals in pre-season now. I was comparing his points per million related to other FPL midfielders from last season. He came out on top, and when you look at his points per game average from last season, he had nearly 5. He was on 4.7. Wilson did actually beat him. So points per game, 5.6 for Wilson. So that's probably where that extra 0.5 is. Kane down on 4 points per game, so much lower than both of them there. I think it's quite interesting. So you'd be tempted by the double up, but you haven't quite got it yet.
Very tempted. I think Fraser, just to have in there as 7.5, just to be able to possibly move on to a Chelsea asset in game week 3 seems really good, because obviously Bournemouth play City in game week 3, so that's not great for them. And then I think the rest of their fixtures aren't great after either. I could check that right now. Okay. No, they're actually quite good, to be honest. So it's possible you just keep him for quite a while, actually. But we'll see, I suppose. But I like Fraser. I had him from the start last season. Did me a whole world of good. And he's a FPL favourite of mine for sure.
He could be a set and forget, a little like some people think Henderson might be for Sheffield United in goal.
I thought you were about to say Henderson from Liverpool. Like,
no way.
Okay.
That's the alternate show. Henderson, the Sheffield United goalkeeper, on loan from Manchester United. I've seen some people say, he could be my set and forget all season. You must remember that because he is on loan from Sheffield United, he can't play against Manchester United, in which I think they play in game week 13 and game week 30. I looked at, so that's worth considering. He and the Sheffield United defence do look good, and I feel like if any keeper is going to come out and be a little bit like Etheridge from last season, it's going to be the Sheffield United goalkeeper. Sadly, you'll have to pair him with someone that's going to play in those 2 games, I would have thought. Yeah,
that's why I'm less interested in him, just because I don't want to spend that 0.5 more on a rotation partner.
Exactly, for basically just 2 games of the season. Maybe.
Yeah, it's not really worth it.
It seems like such a waste of money, which is a shame. So
But
Yeah.
you'd probably likely wildcard before then anyway, so you probably would have the chance to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
True. All right, we should move on. Burnley against Southampton, 3 p.m. Saturday. 4 wins, 1 draw, no losses for Saints in pre-season, 2 clean sheets. I feel like they're going under the radar a little bit. I know they've got some tricky fixtures, but they look good.
Yeah, agree. I think they could be the surprise of the sort of lower teams this year. I think they could possibly finish top 10, or top half at least. Haselhüttl was a good manager, and I think Adams is a great signing for them. I think he's going to do well this year. Their fixtures are kind of tough, but I don't know if they are that bad to start with. Actually, their 2 home games are tough, but they've got the I think it's Man United and who's the other one?
Well, they start away against
Liverpool.
Oh yeah.
The 2 hard home games. They got Burnley away, Liverpool at home, Brighton away, Man United at home, and then so those aren't too bad. Brighton away, Burnley away, decent fixtures. Their home fixtures, obviously Liverpool, you're probably expecting to lose. Man United might lose, but they've got the home advantage, so they could do something. But yeah, Che Adams, I like. What was his? What's he got? 6 million, 1.6% at the moment. He's had 3 goals, 3 assists in pre-season. So yeah, that's pretty good for 6 million. Why not punt on him? Because I think Ings is probably going to go off at like 60 minutes every game.
Yeah.
Because he's injury prone all the time and getting older. So yeah, I think Ings will come off. Long will probably come on for Ings. Adams should play the 90 minutes most weeks. I can imagine he gets the penalties after Ings goes off. So yeah, I'm kind of excited for him. I do want to punt on him, but there's other players I think I want more. But yeah, if I need that 0.5, I'm willing to go there, I think.
Yeah. I think this matchup is a really interesting one. So both teams obviously have the same manager and generally the same players. I think Adams is probably the biggest difference to either of them. Burnley lost their last 3 matches of last season, and Saints didn't win any of their last 5. But I think both of these 2 teams have been the best performing in pre-season. So like I say, Saints have had 4 wins, 1 draw, no losses. Burnley played 9 games, and they've won 6 times. They've got 26 goals. I mean, they do have some crazy pre-season games in Burnley, but I feel like Wood and
their opposition was terrible though. Like their difficulty rating was one of the worst, or highest.
But I feel like these are, I don't know, I feel like they're good pre-seasons for both of them under their belts, and it's sort of like a battle of 2 informed strikers. That's Chris Wood, who's got 10 goal involvements, which is crazy, isn't it? 9 goals. He was averaging 2 shots a game last season, which wasn't too bad considering someone like Kane was averaging 4.5, half of that. He's only slightly more than half his price, and I don't know, I kind of fancy a good game here, but I can really see it going Southampton's way. I feel like they've had the better of the pre-seasons, and Adams is looking a really sharp, bright spark for them. I watched their highlights of their last 2 games, quite thorough ones, and Adams gets in some good positions. He's strong on the ball. He's got a good shot, and those 22 goals in 46 last season, I feel like coming into a side which is going to make chances for him, playing 2 up top. I feel like he's sort of being overlooked because of the fixtures. I include myself in that because I'm a fixtures-based person at the start of the season for sure, but Adams has got the form.
Yeah, he's got assists in him as well. So he's shown the 3 goals, 3 assists, and with the second guy up front, in Ings, I think he's worth a shout. And like you said, Chris Wood, 9 goals. I think he averaged more points per appearance last year than Barnes, so which is kind of surprising. But yeah, Wood possible. I don't know. I'm not sure about their fixtures, but that form is hard to deny, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then J-Rod is the only one that's been close to Chris Wood in goals. He's also got 6, who also plays for Burnley. And obviously he's had experience from West Brom, J. Rodriguez. So I imagine he'll come on for Barnes or Wood, 60 minutes-ish in their game. So I can't imagine him sitting on the bench that much when he's got that form. So yeah, that's something to look at if you're looking at Woods or Barnes, because it's unclear who J-Rod will come on for. But yeah, Barnes train is a thing, but not for me.
Not yet. Let's start predicting some of these games. Actually, let's just go back and say I'm going to say Southampton win this one. I'm going to say 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1 sounds good to me. It sounds boring to do the same thing, but 2-1 sounds all right.
All right, we'll just whiz back and just do the other ones at this stage. Bournemouth, Sheffield United. Maybe we don't have to do a score, but
2-0 Bournemouth.
Okay, I'm gonna go 1-0 Bournemouth win, and then West Ham against Man City.
3-0 City.
Oh, I'm gonna go 2-0. Okay. Liverpool Norwich.
4-0 Liverpool.
Woohoo! That'd be nice. I'm gonna say it's 3-1. I reckon that clean sheet wipeout is gonna be a real thing.
Oh god.
All right, we'll do the next sort of 6-7 games at the end. Right, so Palace Everton's another 3:00 kickoff on Saturday. I feel like this is the match between the two least in form pre-season teams because they've both been tragic. They've hardly scored any goals. Palace have won 1 of 5 games. Everton have won 1 of 7 and only scored 3, which is the worst of any pre-season team's form. So what's going to happen in this game?
They're 19th and 20th in the pre-season form table, Palace and Everton. So it could be terrible game, but I don't know. I expect there might be goals. I think Everton have only conceded 5, so that's not bad for them, and they had some decent-ish opponents. So yeah, I think Dina's worth a look as well, just for his attacking prowess. Let's see if anyone can actually finish anything. But sort of defensive-wise, I think they look decent enough. I was concerned about Gay leaving, and who was the other guy that left?
Zuma, that's
it. Yeah. But I think they've signed a decent other guy. I can't remember his name. But he's just going to be like for like. They've got Delph as well, who I think got injured like 5 minutes into their last preseason game. I don't know if it's that serious or not, but I think they've sort of replaced him quite well. And then they bought Kane as well from Juve, who looks like a great player. Not sure if he'll start the season, but if he does, 7 million. Could be a bargain, to be honest. I really, really wanted 6.5, but looking forward to seeing Kane, to be honest, because it's probably going to make Siggy, Richie, Dina all better options if he can finish them.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree. I think Everton look really good at the back. I'm going to pick up on that point you said. Like, I know they've kept 4 clean sheets in pre-season. I think it bodes well as well at looking historically. I think Palace haven't won in their last 6 meetings against Everton. They've not scored in their last 2. So that was the 2 games last season. So I think this game for me is looking like, of all the games this weekend, a nailed-on clean sheet for... Well, not nailed on, but as close as nailed-on clean sheet for Everton as you're going to get. Zaha's back late. He's their main source of goals for Palace. And I
think he is supposed to be back, Zaha.
I've seen him training in his garden. Did you see that? Taking free kicks over.
Didn't see that.
He was training in his back garden or something.
I've seen him taking the the media day stuff, all in the Palace stuff. So I'm not sure if he's been training though. If he hasn't, then I'd assume he won't start this game. If he has, then he probably will. But yeah, either or. I've said it before. I don't like Benteke in that squad, and I think they're crap with Benteke.
So, picking back up on Dean. He missed a really good chance actually in the last pre-season game highlights. They drew 0-0. Shows he was getting into some good positions. He averaged 4.79 points per match last season, which was better than Luis and Azpilicueta, because I wanted to sort of compare 6 million defenders to see where I could get some value from in my backline. So I was pleased to see him come out on top. That sort of relies on him continuing his goal output. And while touching on that, he was returning essentially once every 300 minutes, I think it was last season, in terms of a clean sheet goal or assist. So that's worth keeping in mind ahead of this season. Keane was an interesting one as well that you mentioned, because he got announced today, didn't he, for 7 million. Mm-hmm. He's only scored 6 goals for Juve. I felt like it was a kind of a big price. Probably just like 0.5 too high when you consider that what players like King and Jota have already achieved in the league. Like someone like Haller, I can sort of understand a little more because he had a fairly decent record. And then you've got players who are 7, like Michy Batshuayi and Abraham, because they played in the league before. But for someone who's basically scored 6 goals from the bench for Juve in about half a season, to get 7 million just seems, I don't know, a bit alien to me.
We've seen FPL overpriced players all season once they've been announced transfers. But it just makes you think that Jota's at 6.5 is an absolute bargain compared to Keane, who's not had any experience. 6.5 for Jota, who's would finish the season so well. Absolute bargain.
He is, yeah. Siggy, I had high hopes for him. And he's just had a really sort of lackluster preseason. No goals, no assists. I can't invest 8 million in him until I know that he's firing and linking up with Keane or any other striker for that matter.
Yeah, I agree. I think you can wait. Their run of fixtures is so good that you can just jump on him at any time, really. So yeah, I think you can wait for the time being. Dean is probably enough to hopefully get a couple of assists and clean sheets and just cover the attack possibly. So yeah, I think wait and see with him actually.
I think Richarlison's could obviously make a big impact when he comes back in. I think he played the first half of their last preseason game a couple of days ago. Interesting looking back at the stats from last season in terms of midfielder picks. He led the way for shots in the box per 90 minutes last season, actually more than Hazard. He ended up on 2.2 shots in the box per game. Hazard was 2.1, so that was quite interesting. I think that was for players less than 10.5 at the end of the campaign.
I was looking at him for a while actually, and I do think he will start quite well. He always does, doesn't he? So it's, I don't know, if you don't want Siggy, would you consider Richie or not?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a shame that, like as we say, they both came in at the same price, because I do fancy Everton with those fixtures. It's just nailing down which of Richarlison, Sigurdsson, and Keane is going to be the best attacking outlet to go to, and I think I'm going to need like at least 2 or 3 game weeks to see which way that one goes.
Yeah, problem with Richarlison is if you see him do well, you'll probably miss his hauls. Yeah, like last season he started with 2, and then as soon as people started getting on him, he started to not do so well.
He got sent off, didn't he, against Bournemouth as well?
Yeah,
you and I both got Walcott in.
Yeah,
good times.
God. Never again. But please, let's not hope that comes up again this year. Is Walcott essential?
We should do a separate show on that.
Yeah, I think we should.
Is Walcott essential? Any Crystal Palace recommendations?
At this point, no. Nothing's really changed in terms of Millie's possible point returns. But don't know, they just look so bad at the moment. So yeah, just avoiding, to be honest. Kelly might have been a starter, who possibly is at the moment at 4.0. But their defense has been so shockingly bad that I think Everton could score a few. I think most teams could score a few against them. So yeah, avoid Kelly as well, I think.
I'm actually a little bit worried about. I quite like Palace as a team and Roy Hodgson, but I am a little bit worried about them this season. They haven't reinvested any of that money. The squad looks weak at the moment. There was actually talk the other day that Milivojevic attracted like a bit of attention from Lazio. I mean, imagine if they lost him before the start of the season. I mean, they'd ask silly money from now because it's so late, but yeah, I'm a bit worried about Palace.
Yeah, I've got them down here as maybe a relegation candidate.
All right, next game is another 3:00 one. Watford against Brighton. Cool, because Watford, actually, they're a bit of an enigma. They're not cool at all, because for all pre-season, I've been looking since June, Kieran, when the game dropped way too long ago. I was excited by their fixtures. I thought, Deulofeu, he's been repositioned as a striker. He's the answer to all my 6.5 million problems. But he's not!
No.
He's a damn fool, because he's not even played any pre-season games to get any goals. Well, he has, but he's played like half of one. Rubbish. And
he's injured. He's got a slight injury, so that's why he's not played the past 2, I believe. And then Gray, who's come in for him, has looked decent. Scored 2 goals in their last preseason game. I reckon Gray starts the season for sure with Deeney. It's anyone that has him, I'd be worried for sure. I'm not going to have him. I don't think you will. Reassess if you've got him at the moment.
I'll tell you what, Gray is a big differential, because I think it's 4 goals in pre-season now, like you say, 2 in that last one. He's 6 million, so he's Che Adams' price point. That's quite good for a run of fixtures, which are Brighton home, Everton away, West Ham home, Newcastle away. Those are plum fixtures. Owned by less than 1%. He could be a differential. He could be an FPL Cougar Cup pick, Kieran.
Oh, you just putting that out there already?
No, I've already.
You're spoiling me.
No, I'm not spoiling, but I'm just saying he could be. He could be.
All right, yeah, interested.
All right. So other players from other teams, namely Gross, is he one you're looking at? 1 goal and 1 assist pre-season?
Not anymore. He seems to be out of favour, to be honest. The new signing Trossard seems to be ahead of him. March seems to be ahead of him. So yeah, I don't think he's going to start the season, to be honest. which is a shame because we know he's got it in him to do well, but he seems out of favour under Potter. So yeah, not looking that way. Trossard though, 3 assists in preseason. Looks like he's always looking to score. Looked pretty decent at Sharp, but possibly feels like a bit of a trap. I'm not sure. Like
he plays for Brighton.
He does play for Brighton. Obviously, we've been talking about them looking like they're more attacking, but I don't know. The fixtures are decent for Brighton, but Watford away is definitely not an easy game at all. So yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest with them.
I think they're one of 6 teams, or maybe 4 teams it is, that have got game weeks 2 and 3 back to back at home, and they're actually the best sort of back to back at home fixtures in terms of West Ham and Southampton. I'd say just. Potter looks like that attacking style's come into fruition a little bit in pre-season. I think they've averaged 3 goals in their... Was it 4 games they played?
But they've played terrible opposition. But yeah.
But I suppose that's building confidence a little bit. And it seems like Duffy's benefiting as well, hasn't he? Did you see how many goals he scored in pre-season? I think it's 3 now.
It's 3, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not bad. Based on sort of last season's points and this season's prices, Duffy does come out at the best points per million, 5 million or less defender in the game. So that's quite interesting. But I really think that the attacking side of Brighton is going to where the points are this season rather than the defensive side.
Yeah, someone I'm interested in, probably the only sub 6 million striker that will probably get a lot of minutes was Lacardia at 5.5. Yeah, he's got a lot of minutes in preseason. Murray's obviously aging. Looks to be favoured under Potter.
We're all aging.
Yeah, true. But yeah, he looks to be favoured under Potter. Had a decent preseason. I actually haven't got his stats down. I don't know why I don't. Probably one of the only ones that haven't got stats down. For Lacardia. I think he's 2 goals or something, maybe 2 assists, something like that. But yeah, he's looked good. So I think he'll start the season quite well. Trossard has to put assists to someone. Lacardia could be the guy. I think Brighton have just announced that they've signed that Mupai guy or something. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce his name. So he's probably a replacement for Murray. So yeah, I think Lacardia could be a shrewd buy at 5.5 million.
It's a shame for Murray because I think he's had a good pre-season. He scored 3 goals. He's down at 6 million. I actually look back because he started last season really well and he was a real consideration for me. Remember Mitrovic and he both started the season really well. And actually last season he's hit the ground running as well then with 3 goals in the first 4 and was averaging over 5 points per game in the first 4 game weeks. Yep. So it is a bit of disappointment, I suppose, for any potential Murray owners that this new guy's come in because I would expect Murray sees greatly reduced.
I just can't put Murray on my team. It just doesn't feel right having him there. You just know he's going to get rotated all the time, and not for me. All
right, so the 5:30 game on Saturday, I believe, is.
Do you want to predict that one as well?
Should we do all
the Crystal Palace one? Yeah.
Should we do them all at the end? All the ones we haven't done.
All right, sure.
Just like part 2 recap.
Okay.
Spurs Villa, that's the Saturday evening kickoff, isn't it? Yeah, excellent. Okay, Spurs obviously coming off the back of that Audi Cup win. They must be buzzing going into game week 1 at home against Villa.
Yeah.
But is Villa sort of teasing you a little bit? They've had some good results in pre-season.
Yeah, I think I joked about it the other day that Villa top 6 Champions League possibly. No, but I think Villa could do quite well this year. I think that's slightly different in the fact from Fulham because obviously they bought 12 players and they still look like they want to buy more. But I think they're buying players that suit and kind of fit their system and in places they actually need cover. And the players look like they're hungry and they're willing to push on and do well in the Premier League. But yeah, Villa have had a great preseason. Their players are all in there for top involvements. Grealish with 2 goals, 3 assists. Wesley 2 goals, 3 assists. Gilbert 3 assists. McGinn 3 goals, 3 assists. Hurricane 2 goals. I mean, they're all getting in goals. So yeah, I'm tempted by at least one of them. I think this could be one of the upsets of the week as well. I think everyone's looking at possibly Spurs blowing Aston Villa away, but I can't really see that. I think Mings going to Villa was really good. Heaton going there as well. Mings transformed their defence just last year in the Championship from the second worst to the second best. So yeah, I think they're going to be really confident. There's a good feeling about them. and I'm interested in Villa. I know there's a lot of talk about them, but yeah, I'm optimistic about Villa.
Yeah, they've won all 5 of their preseason games. They've scored 16, conceded just 2 and kept 2 clean sheets. I would sort of say about Mings, because I've seen a lot of people, so I'm going to totally go the opposite way on that, is that a defender who isn't good enough to get in the really terrible Bournemouth defence is like the saviour of Aston Villa's clean sheet prospects. I don't get that.
Well, yeah. No, I'm not saying he's the saviour of the
Do you know what I mean, though? Yeah.
No, yeah.
He's like the superhero, like best player that people have been touting, but I don't know about that. But I think Heaton is really good. Heaton's going to bring a hell of a lot of experience to that back line. Maybe the John Terry effect has made Mings a better player because he's there doing some coaching, is he? So
maybe
that's why they're Villa defensive looking strong this preseason. Maybe Mings will turn out to be a better defender at a club sort of coached by John Terry than Eddie Howe with his attacking philosophy. But let's wait and see on that one. Mora is obviously a big talking point because Dele Alli is injured and he's going to miss the start of the season. Looks like Mora's nailed on. He's got 4 goal involvements in pre-season, 3 of them are goals. Great start last year as well when he had 29 points in the first 4 games. And that was 3 goals and 1 assist back then. Do you see him hitting the ground running this season?
Yeah, I think so. I've got him in my latest draft. Spoiler. But yeah, I'm torn at the moment, to be honest. He seems like the best of the kind of other players that I could get in that sort of price range. Could be a really good haul against Villa, but if my gut feeling says that they might not, then maybe I should not have him. But yeah, 3 goals, 1 assist in preseason, like you said. Seems to be making the runs past Kane. Kane playing slightly deeper. He's going to be the pace while Son's out. Ali hamstring obviously gone. Ericsson probably just behind, I suppose. So yeah, I think Mora nailed on for the first 2 at least. Obviously City will be slightly tight, I guess. But Spurs could definitely score against them. And then with Ali out for a while, Son coming back, I assume Mora should probably still play, is my guess.
I've just been burnt by him, which is why I can't go there again. Like it was last season, I must have picked him up in game week 5, and he did nothing from game week 5 through to about game week 9, and he was coming off the bench. He was not getting any returns, and I feel like Mora can play in flashes. Like he could go on such a ballistic run at the start of the season, but at the same time, he could just be nowhere, subbed off at like the 65th minute for Harry Winks or someone similar, and you're not getting any points. I'm more interested when Son comes back, to be honest. That's how I want to get into Spurs.
Yeah, even though Spurs did win the Audi Cup, they didn't look that great going forward. Kane didn't look that great either. He looked good in the first 2 games of the preseason, I think. Yeah. The rest of them, he didn't do much at all. Maybe I'm just trying to cover the fact that Spurs could go crazy and loads of people have Kane and loads of people are going to captain him. Maybe I'm trying to cover with Mora, but it's probably not the best idea. I don't know. You're making me redoubt Mora. I only had him in my squad today, to be honest. So I might take him back out. We'll see.
It's just that these first 6 games they've got at home are all against teams outside the big 6. Let me just run through them. They've got Villa, Newcastle, Palace, Southampton, Watford, and Sheffield United. So those are back to back lush home games.
Yeah.
So there's got to be attacking returns in there somewhere, but it's just nailing it down. I think Kane's still too expensive, despite the 3 goal involvements he's got in pre-season, 2 of them goals. Mora looks like a good pick, but
this is why I've had KDB in a lot of my drafts, and it's only today I've just taken him out. Is because that price point at 9.5 is great to go up or down.
Yeah.
And it's great to just get Son straight in as well. Like you said, those fixtures are so good that Son coming back looked really, really sharp in preseason. Actually, I thought Son looked very impressive. So I think Son's going to have a great year, and you could just set and forget him, to be honest. So maybe I'll go back to this KDB draft after speaking like this.
I just wanted to touch on the defensive side of Spurs, because obviously with these home fixtures, people are looking at Kyle Walker-Peters. It looks like he's going to start the season at 5.0, but there's threat from Aurier, so I personally wouldn't recommend it because you don't know how long he's going to be in your team for.
Yeah.
On the other side, you've still got Rose, who they're going to let go, but they haven't. And they've got Ben Davies, who's injured, so nothing's really changed in the left-back position. Vertonghen always seems to be mentioned for his like nailedonness, but it was actually he had the worst points per game last season with 3.2 with Ben Davis, and he was the third worst for baseline bonus out of all the Spurs defenders. I think there's a little bit of value in Lloris as a keeper, because if you're looking at sort of a premium keeper, anyone who I'd consider as 5.5 or more, he actually came out as the best value keeper for points per 90 minutes of all the 5.5 or above keepers. I think he was the 7th overall for value points per million goalkeepers, and just goes to show that all 6 basically above him were all cheaper.
Good pen saver as well.
Yeah, he is a good pen saver. So basically, it just shows that with the goalkeepers, value is in the cheaper options.
Yeah, Voith as well, injured and was banned for the first 2 games, so he's not there as an option. So I think Rose is probably nailed on to start the season, right?
Yeah.
Even though they said that they're willing to let him possibly go still. So if they let him go, who's going to play the left back, isn't it? Yeah, who the hell will play there?
Probably Ben Davis wouldn't have any competition because I don't think they've signed anyone.
Ben Davis is still injured, right?
Yeah, so I don't know what they do. They might have to play 3-5-2 like they did a bit last season.
Yeah, Sanchez and Vertonghen, Alderweireld, and then who plays the wing back?
Well, I was going to say they don't really have any wing backs either, so I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe have Vertonghen play there and play Sanchez.
Oh, that's true. Vertonghen has been quite good at... Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so there's lots of ways I'd like to sort of get into the well, I say my one main way actually getting into the Spurs team would be Son, but getting there is a little bit tricky.
So the Villa assets, are you tempted to buy into them at all? Are you waiting to see...
McGinn I actually quite like. McGinn at 5.5 I actually think is quite decent. I want to see how he adapts to the league, because after last season and getting Jota in game week 1, I just forbid myself to get any championship player, because I just don't want to take any risks this season. He's going under the radar a bit in terms of ownership. I think he's still less than 2% owned. He's 5.5. They do play 3 top 6 sides in the first 10, but 6 goals and 10 assists last campaign. Did you say how many he scored in pre-season? I think he did it.
3 goals, 3 assists. Yeah, so he's up there.
He's doing really well. So I do quite like him. So I've been monitoring him a little bit, but I need to see with these promoted sides. I need to see.
I like Wesley. I think for that 6 million slot, if you're going towards Adams or Wesley, I think it's a toss up between those two. I think he's a good player, possibly on penalties as well. He's taken penalties in preseason, and the 2 goals he's had were really nice finishes. Obviously gets assists as well. Got 3 of them. So yeah, I think he's a perfectly viable alternative to Adams. They're both obviously sort of unproven in the Prem, but yeah, I think they'll be nailed on for their teams. Wesley has no real sort of threat for his position. Whereas Adams kind of does with Long, even though Long's terrible. But yeah, I think there's definite value in Villa. I like Gilbert as well. Gilbert, 3 assists from the back, 4.5 million, 0.3% owned. If you're not going to go Heaton, I think he could be. He's very attacking, and we've seen that they're in for possible goals. So he's possibly worth a shout if you want to rotate him, possibly.
Yeah, not a bad one at all. Shall we move on to Sunday?
Yes.
Cool. All right. That starts with Leicester against Wolves. Are you excited about this one? I think it's going to be quite a good game.
Yeah, it could be goals either end, couldn't it? Wolves had a really good pre-season in terms of defence, only conceded 1, but they did only play 4 games. But that included 2 Premier League clubs in Newcastle and City, so they kept City out, which is impressive, obviously, in of its own. But yeah, Perez for Leicester, obviously everyone's excited about him. Looks really good playing off Vardy. He's playing pretty much up top, making runs past Vardy. 2 goals in pre-season. Had a bit of an ankle roll, but looks like he's past that now. 6.5 million looks extremely good value to me.
It does, yeah.
And it's hard to pass it up. I don't think Vardy's worth the extra price tag, to be honest, at 9 million. And yeah, I like him. What do you think about Perez?
Yeah, I really like him too. Like you, I've been watching quite a lot of pre-season games. Just really been given some proper eye test to people who are sort of the maybe like the edge players of my team, if that makes sense. Like I know with a Salah or Sterling what they're going to offer me, but just to see how a player like Perez or Jota is fit, or Dean is fit in pre-season, I've been needing to see what give him the eye test basically. And Perez has been passing with flying colours. He's been getting into the box. Sometimes he's played just off Vardy, quite central. Other times he's been playing wide and drifting in. His goal, I think one of his goals came from him running in from the running in from wide.
Yeah,
into the
that was really
penalty
nice.
box.
Yeah.
And also in that other game, in that same game, I think he could have had a second because he and Vardy were running through on goal. Vardy could have easily squared it to him, and we could be talking about Perez sitting in with 3 goals. I think Vardy's only scored 2 as well. Perez is just looking good. Perez is looking good. I think, like you say, he's going to cut people off going to Vardy because basically, again, a 6.5 million striker playing or in midfield and FPL for a team as good as Leicester, who I think are going to score a hell of a lot of goals this season.
Yep, agree. Just too good value to pass up. Even though their fixtures are kind of tricky to start with, I think he's worth putting in from the start. I think he's going to have a good season. He looks confident as well. So.
I wonder if it's going to sort of just dent the goal returns of Maddison and Tielemans, and even more so, they, as well as Pereira and Chilwell, are going to sort of fall back into assisting potential, and it's going to be Perez and Vardy getting on most of the goal-scoring exploits.
Yeah, probably.
No returns for Maddison in pre-season.
No, he didn't play that much, did he? As far as I saw, but probably not justifying that 0.5 million more.
No. I also want to just mention Jota. I mean, you and I. Well, I've got him for sure. I think you've got him.
Currently, yeah.
Currently got him. I mean, he's looking good. So he's got 5 goal involvements this pre-season. He's been the main man for Wolves. Jimenez did get 2, I believe, when he came back in against Crusaders in the Europa League. But the last 18 game weeks of last season, Jota was averaging 6.15 points per 90 minutes, and Jimenez was on 5.47. So to bring in a Wolves player who's got Premier League pedigree now, he had a great end to last season, he had a great summer. I see Jota going from strength to strength this season. I feel like he's going to be one of those players that's going to get to maybe 6-8, 6-9 before maybe game week 6, game week 7, even with those fixtures.
Yeah, hopefully, to be honest. I want to include him. So, then their new guy is possible Worry, Crutoni, or whatever he's called. But I think it's Jota and Jimenez's place to lose. I think Crutoni will probably come on for one of them in most games. But hopefully it's not Jota. Hopefully Jota managed to do his work before he comes off. I don't know. I guess I think that's probably nailed on to happen just because of Europa League. They'll probably need to keep one of them fresh.
Yeah.
But like you say, I think Jota will be really good this year. I'm even slightly looking at their back line again. Bolly, 5 million. Obviously, maybe not from the start, but only conceding 1 in pre-season is by far the best of all the Prem teams. So, intriguing.
Well, they had a really sort of low expected goals conceded rate for pretty much all of last season, but they just were letting in the odd one and just wiping out a lot of clean sheets and really irritating people. So I wonder if it's just the quality. I mean, like you say, they did play 2 Premier League teams in that, but I wonder if it's the quality of opposition, which
possibly
now they're just limiting chances, and now these teams who aren't as good aren't just taking that one big chance, let's say, that's presented to them. Yeah,
and obviously Leicester have lost Maguire now, and I guess Sionku and Morgan as their replacement is obviously nowhere near as good. So Wolves could score quite well. I think it's possible. There's goals in this. I think Pereira's looked decent as well. 3 assists, 6 million. Yeah, you could go to Laporte to him at some point, or one of the Liverpool defenders. Yeah, I think Pereira at some point will probably come in for me because he's looked good.
He has looked good. I should also say, talking about goals, the last time these two played, it was that cracking 4-3 game.
That's true, yeah.
At Wolves, which, I think he also scored a hat-trick in.
Yeah, there's probably going to be goals in there.
So, All right, we should move on to another Sunday game, unless you've got anything else to say on that one?
Nope.
No, cool. Newcastle, they're playing Arsenal. Arsenal looking good, I think. Aubameyang, man.
Yeah, he's the one guy I really fear not owning at this point. Scored against good opposition in pre-season. Arsenal seem to feel like they're probably going to need to score more. Obviously, that sounds ridiculous, but score more than the other team, just because their defense is so bad. But yeah, he seems to be nailed on. Lacazette has had a slight injury niggle. He looks good, to be honest. It's hard to not want him, but Salah, Sterling, I think, are probably going to be better picks overall, even for the first few weeks. So yeah, we'll see.
Now, Aubameyang does look good, like you say, 5 goal involvements, 4 of those goals. Laka picked up a knock, and it looks like he might miss game week 1, so I think that just means Aubameyang is going to be their main man to rely on. I I think Newcastle as well, one of the only only one of 3 teams that recorded a negative goal difference in pre-season, along with Palace and Everton. They have won their last 2 games, only kept 1 clean sheet, so I can see an away win here for Arsenal.
To be honest, I think that Joe Linton has hit the ground running 3-3 since he started at 6 million. Good. And I think their other new signing, I can't remember his name, Maxine Allen or something like that. He looks like a decent player. Almiron as well, obviously still there, good player. So I think Newcastle will probably be slightly more confident towards the end of that preseason. And I don't know. I don't think it's going to be the complete steamroll that people were expecting in this game.
Yeah, Joe Linton has surprised me. I watched the highlights of that game when he, like you say, now he's got on 2 goals and 1 assist total, only 6 million. He's actually got more preseason returns than Josh King. So it was quite a surprise when I saw that. Obviously, different teams he's playing against, but owned by less than 3%. I think he looks quite exciting, and I think it was 7 goals, 7 assists in the Bundesliga last season. So keep an eye on him.
We're not saying he's an asset, but I'm just trying to say that I don't think Newcastle are going to be that much of a pushover compared to what we first thought as when when they lost Benitez and everyone thinking they're going to get relegated, but. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be that bad in this game. No. But avoid their defence for sure. Tough to call. But probable Arsenal win.
I want to mention just 2 4.5 players before on the Arsenal squad who look like they're going to start game week 1. That's Chambers in defence.
Chambers, yeah.
Yeah, and also not start, but Nketiah. He's played in every single...
Nketiah.
What's that? That's all right. That's
Nketiah.
Nketiah. Anyway, he's played in every preseason game. He's averaged 48 minutes per game, and he played quite a lot of the back end of last season coming off the bench. So I think if you're looking for that 4.8 million striker, you're playing 4-5-1, or maybe you're just playing 4-4-2 and you want a benchable one. If you're looking for an alternate to Greenwood, then I think he's the one to go for.
I'm less sure he's going to get minutes now, just because obviously they've signed Pepe. They got Ceballos or whatever to come in, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Mkhitaryan, Ozil. Like, can I really see Nketiah coming on? I'm not so sure now. Even that Willock guy has had an impressive preseason. True. Supposedly going to get some minutes this year. So less confident in him getting in minutes, but I don't think he'll drop at all in price because he's really low owned. So he's safe to just put on your bench possibly instead of Greenwood if you want to do that. If you've got a nailed on other substitute.
Yeah. What do we think about Pepe? You mentioned him just then.
That's another reason why I want the KDB price point to see if Pepe becomes a real asset, because he definitely could be, because if Arsenal are going to try blow teams away, Pepe could be right in there, and I'd be tempted to go for him if he's looking good. I don't know too much about him. Obviously his record in France was good, but that's a Farmers League, so can't judge it that much, and he used to take penalties. It was something 8 or 9 of his goals last year with penalties, but apparently he was winning all of those penalties for himself anyway, so that's another route to points in FPL. So he could be good. I'm excited to see him play.
I feel like he's going to be in my team at some point this season, just because I love watching him. I watched some of his highlights just to see what he was all about, and he's got the skills, he's got the shots in the box, and I think he just looks a really exciting player to own. I'm a little bit disappointed that I've been a lot of people throwing this comparison around, so I'm going to do it as well. That Salah came into the league from Roma, and he was only priced at 9 million at Liverpool, and then you got Pepe coming in from, like you say, from the French league, and he's a 9.5. So that is a bit irritating when you're comparing him, like you say, with someone like KDB and Son, who've actually proved themselves and done it. If he'd been an 8.5 or a 9, maybe I would have thought, okay, that's fair enough. But 9.5 just seems like it's too steep. It's too steep.
Yeah, if he's looking good, he's a prime wildcard candidate at week 5 or 6. Aston Villa at home, week 6.
Yeah.
If he's looking like he's playing 90 or something, then great. Although Emery does like to rotate at any point. Even Aubameyang's probably not nailed because Aubameyang got rotated loads last year, didn't he? So beware of that, I suppose.
I reckon he'll probably come off the bench against Newcastle. He'll start against Burnley, and then they've got 2 quite tricky games away against Liverpool and then at home against Spurs. So I can see that he'd want to sort of have him fit or ready to play some part in those 2 games.
He's been there for what, 2 weeks now, maybe?
Yeah, I feel.
I wouldn't be surprised if he starts, but at the same time, he probably won't because it's Emery. And
he didn't play against Barca, did he, in that pre-season friendly? I don't think he didn't.
No,
start.
I don't think he did.
No,
I don't think he came on either.
No, that's why I wonder if Emery likes to sort of get players up to speed with his way of thinking. He might be just a week or two out.
What do you think of Ceballos? Or...
To be honest, I don't know a lot about him.
Yeah, nor do I really. But I was. People on Twitter seem to think he's going to be played in an 8 or 10 role.
Okay.
And at 5.5 in an Arsenal attack, he came from Real Madrid, looking for game time. Is Emery going to play him every week? You'd expect so. I think so. If they're going to be looking to blow teams away, then he's probably going to be involved in a few assists, possibly.
Yeah.
5.5 is very tempting. If he looks good, then it could be onto that quite quickly.
You and I are going to have to keep an eye on him and keep all of the FPL Cougar fans updated on what we think, because I don't advocate putting a 5.5 at the start of the season, so we're going to need to watch.
Yeah, I'm not saying now.
No, I know.
If he had started against Barcelona and looked good, then I would have been very tempted, but he didn't, so it looks like he's going to take a while to bed in.
Yeah, if he'd scored 5 goals against Barca in one game, we'd both have him, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
All right. Should we talk about the 4 o'clock game?
Yes.
The biggest game of the weekend, probably, definitely, easily.
From big teams wise, yeah.
Big teams wise, United against Chelsea. United have had a pretty decent pre-season by all accounts. 4 clean sheets and 6, not lost, 5 wins, 1 draw.
Undefeated, yeah.
They've undefeated, and they've just confirmed the signing of Big Harry Maguire. He looks dead chuffed to be at United.
Yep.
What do you think about their defensive prospects? I'm a bit worried, I must say, by ownership. Because Wan-Bissaka's looking well owned.
He is. I've had him in quite a few drafts, but it could go either way with the well owned thing. He could punish everyone for not owning him, or he could, I could be terrible in defense again, and he could drop quite quickly because he's so well owned. But I don't know. I think United are going to be much better. De Gea, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw. I think that's a decent top 4 defense.
That's strong, yeah.
And I can see 12 to 14 clean sheets this year, maybe. Is that over? Doesn't
seem unreasonable, no.
No? Okay.
It's a shame they've got such a risky start. Not risky. Sort of, I don't know, indifferent, I'd say. Maybe it's a better word.
You know what? I don't think it's that bad. I mean, looking at it, like Chelsea at home, I think that could be a 0-0, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wolves away, they might concede in that. But Crystal Palace at home,
that's a
clean sheet. Southampton away, I think that's probably a clean sheet. Leicester at home, I think that could easily be a clean sheet. Man United seem to have had Leicester's number in the past few years. West Ham United away could be a clean sheet. Arsenal at home, no reason why not a clean sheet. Newcastle away could be a clean sheet. That's their first six games.
Yeah.
There could be 4 clean sheets in there,
I just a little bit more trepidation. I just look at that and think United had a pretty bad clean sheet record last season. I know they've had a great pre-season, but I'd look at that and think Chelsea are potent, Wolves are potent, Southampton could
Chelsea are not potent, don't be silly.
They've scored goals, Kieran, in pre-season. Ross Barkley's the saviour.
No.
Okay,
no,
Chelsea. All right, so Chelsea is slightly potent. Let's do a scale: slightly potent and potent. All right, Chelsea slightly potent. Wolves and Leicester are potent. Come on,
slightly potent.
Leicester are potent. All right, okay. Well, we can't agree on this. Anyway, neither of us have got a United defender anyway, have we?
Not yet, but I really want him.
I do. I'm tempted more by Wan-Bissaka than Maguire.
Yes, 100% bonus point magnet, and I just like him. As obviously we're both United fans. I think he looks like one of our best players already. He's just fun to watch, and I think he's going to get further forward than last year, so more assists are on the card. I really want him. Maybe we can probably just wait for him, to be honest, though. If he goes to 4-6, 4-6, what am I about? 5-6, 5-7, whatever. Really, we can just get him later, I suppose.
Well, I'll talk a little bit more about my team in a minute, but yes, I know exactly what you're thinking about that. Players then. Barkley has had the second best sort of overall performance for any pre-season player. 7 goal involvements after Wood. 7 goal involvements, 3 assists, 4 goals. And he's taken penalties when Jorginho has been on the pitch. What do you think about that? 6.5% ownership, but caveat, obviously, he didn't start the last pre-season game, which was like a big boo-boo.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to come off every game for Kovacic. Maybe, no, not probably for Mount this year. So that'll probably be happening all the time.
Yeah.
I just can't trust Barkley personally myself. I think he's possibly a good option, but I just don't like him myself. It's just a bias as a player. I don't know why. But he could be good. Possible penalties, 6 million. I think that is good value. If you like him, then go for it. To be honest, their fixtures after United and after Leicester are decent for ages. To be honest, they've got
they are good.
like one other top 6 team in the first 13 weeks or something.
I think it's Wolves. No, it's not Wolves.
It's Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it might be Liverpool.
I've got it down somewhere.
Okay.
After United, it's they got and Leicester. Okay, I didn't write it down. I just put one top 6 from game week 2 to 12, but still.
They got some good fixtures. After United, I know they got Leicester at home, Norwich away, Sheffield United at home, Wolves away. So they're not bad.
Yeah.
What do you make their clean sheet prospects at the start of the season? I mean, they've got Zuma, looks like he's got his way into that back four at 5 million. Emerson looks like he's nailed down left back role ahead of Alonso at 5.5. You've got Steady Eddie Dave, aka Aspilicueta. 165 points average in the last 3 seasons. Any of those? Wet your palate?
Yeah, I was interested until they conceded 2 to Muchum Gladbach with like really poor goals as well in the preseason. So I think I'll get onto them at some point. But yeah, that game was a bit of a red flag. There's value there though. So get on them. Just wait and see possibly because their fixtures are really good. So we could just jump on them then.
Their defensive prospects haven't been so great in pre-season either. They've only kept 1 clean sheet in 7. Which United players do you think, if any, are going to breach them on Sunday? Who's going to do the damage? I'm surprised by Pogba. He's had 1 assist in pre-season. It looks like he's playing further back. Who's going to score the goals? Is it Rashford? I know you don't like him.
I reckon Martial will score.
Ooh, Martial, okay.
Yeah, Martial's definite possible differential as well. Out of position, seems to play in a fluid sort of forward/wide area with Rashford. 7.5 million. I think he's possibly worth the gamble. Obviously, United's fixtures are tough. Our attacking prowess isn't exactly great, but if anyone's going to do it, Martial could.
So you're not tempted by Rashford? 3 goals in pre-season. It looks like he's got the centre forward role to himself now that Lukaku's been linked away. It's either going to be him or Martial.
Just think 8.5 is a little too much at this point. If he's looking good and once their fixtures get better, then I think we could possibly all get on him. But not for the time being. But I think I prefer their defence at this point.
10 is the most he's ever managed in 1 season, so he's got to do a whole lot better than that. It's interesting, the United is sort of like a bit of a wait and see project for me. I want to see what this Chelsea games. I think it's a great litmus test, these first 2, Chelsea and Wolves. Tough-ish games, but we'll see what the new look United's going to be like under Solskjaer.
Yep.
Cool.
Chelsea attackers.
I've not really. No, apart from Barkley, I'm not really sort of keen on any of them particularly because I think it's a bit of a lottery. But who've you got?
I think Pulisic looked good.
Okay.
I think it's 2 goals, 1 assist in pre-season. I think Fraser to Pulisic could be good in game week 3. Maybe keep Fraser all season though, but I think there's definite value in that Chelsea attack, isn't there? Abraham looks like he's possibly nailed down the start. He's played most of the last few games. 7 million. I don't really think he's good enough to be Chelsea's starting striker, but if he is, then that's good value there. Pulisic, I think he's good. They bought him for a decent amount of money. Should be nailed on. At some point, I think we'll all be on a Chelsea attacker. Yeah,
potentially. Yeah, I want to see how Pulisic sort of starts the season, but he could be a good look in there for me. Right, should we finally do our team reveals? Because I haven't put them up on screen yet. And then we can just run through our names. I don't think we need to talk about the players individually because we've recapped quite a lot of them. And then we'll mix in our sort of reveal with captaincy chit-chat. So I'll go through mine first. I've got Pope in goal because now Heaton's gone. He looks nailed. I've got Dean at the back for the fixtures. I'm staying true with Alexander-Arnold, Robertson. I've got my attacking Liverpool wing-backs. Zinchenko's in even after his nightmare start. Sterling, Salah speak for themselves. Perez and Fraser bigged up. And up front, I got Jota and Wilson. So I'm playing 4-4-2. On the bench, I've got McGovern from Norwich. He's the backup goalkeeper, 4 million. Because I think Wood, I was sat on, was it Woodburn? Woodman.
Woodman, yeah.
Some sort of Wood. He's been loaned out to a Championship club, so he's going to be gone from the game soon. I got Dendoncker first on the bench. I've got Greenwood second on the bench, and I've also got Lundstrom from Sheffield United, my 4 million player. So I've got a weak bench.
Get Rico in quick.
Oh, I don't want Rico. He's Kieran. No. Lundstrom
Yes.
it is. Right then, let's just run through your team, and then let's do really briefly, and then we'll do a bit captaincy chat.
Yeah, I've got Heaton at the moment in defence because I think he's a great keeper, and I think Villa could do well. May switch it to Pope because I'm not sure about my attackers playing Heaton as well, so that's a bit awkward actually. But Van Dijk and Alexander-Arnold at the moment. Van Dijk may go back to Robertson at some point. Laporte, yeah, may go to Zinchenko, like you said. Digne in there for Crystal Palace away, and they're great fixtures. Fraser, yeah, speaks for himself. Salah, Sterling, Perez, and then I've got more at the moment, but yeah, what we were talking about earlier, I'm not too sure anymore. And then Jota, we both think he's going to have a good season up front. So it's a 4-5-1 at the moment. But tempted to bring KDB in, tempted to go back to 4-4-2. I think I've said to you before we came on air, we've had the same exact draft quite a few times. So I'm not sure we both want to do that. If we go for the exact same team, that would be very boring. But yeah, we'll see because your squad looks good.
Thanks, Kieran.
Annoyingly. Then I got McGovern on the bench, Greenwood at the moment, Rico and Nketiah because I can't afford anything else. So yeah, I think it's probably still going to change a lot though.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm pretty settled on mine, to be honest, in terms of changeability. The only sort of queries I've had is whether I'm just going to play it a tiny tiddly bit safer with Van Dijk instead of Arnold, and then maybe Walker instead of Zinchenko. But
no, keep Alexander-Arnold. Trust me.
Bit of a muchness there. In terms of captaincy, because we're just sort of basing this on pre-season form and a little bit of last season, there's not a whole lot to sort of comment on. But I've written down some numbers regardless. So Salah last season averaged 7.8 points at home per 90 minutes, which I thought was quite incredible. Like you said earlier, 10 shots in the Community Shield, hit the post twice, and Norwich very leaky last season. I think it all points towards a Salah captaincy, but do you see anyone sort of rivaling him as other potentials?
I think people are looking at Kane, aren't they? Aston Villa at home looks like a good shout. If you're going for him, then he's worth a captaincy look. I mean, why pay that money if you're not going to try and captain him?
Yep.
Sterling, yeah, as well. Good option. West Ham away, could be goals in that. And then possibly Aubameyang at Newcastle. Oh yeah. And those are the four best, I think.
So picking up some stats there on Sterling. So he actually has only ever once scored a brace away from home in the Premier League, and that was last year against Palace, which I thought was quite interesting. He averaged 5.6 points per 90 minutes away from home last season, which was more than Kane averaged at home. So Kane averaged,
still good.
Yeah, it's still very good. Yeah, Kane averaged 4.83 points at home last season, which I thought was quite poor, really. For him, and obviously Sterling and Man City scored 4 goals past West Ham last season. I think Sterling got 1 goal and 2 assists in that one. My sort of differential captaincy shout is because differential captaincy, Kieran, it's a thing.
Sure.
It's Che Adams. Go and Che Adams with differential captaincy, pre-season form and 6 goal involvements. I think against Burnley, I think he's Southampton looking good, looking really good. All right. Clean sheet.
Predictions of the other games quickly.
Yeah, let's do the predictions of the other games quickly. It's exactly what we'll do. All right, so let's roll backwards because
Crystal Palace Everton is where we got to.
Oh, Crystal Palace Everton. Okay. All right. Who are you going to say in that one then?
I'm going to say a 1-0 Everton.
Oh, 1-0 Everton. Okay. I'm going to say it's 0-0 draw. I say it's been deadly boring. Watford against Brighton. Let's hear it.
1-1.
Okay, I think Brighton are going to win. I think it's going to be a away win for the goals there. Spurs against Villa.
I think this is going to be 1-1.
1-1. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
I can see Tottenham winning this one. I'm going to say it's a close 2-1 win though. Scrappy Tottenham. Tottenham just get over the line these days. They're good.
It's true, they do. Yeah.
Leicester and Wolves. I'm really looking forward to this game.
3-2. Wolves.
3-2 Wolves, away win.
Yeah.
What, just because they're a little bit more woken up, if that makes sense, to start this season?
No, just just fancy they might get it on the break, on the counter. Leicester will attack them most of the time, and then Wolves will just play on the counter, which is what they're best at.
All right, I'll say it's a draw. Actually, I'm gonna call that one a draw 2-2. Newcastle Arsenal. It's probably Arsenal. I think.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's gonna be a mauling, but 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I'd go with Arsenal as well. I think I'll just play it safe for 1-0. What about and actually keep a clean sheet? United Chelsea.
0-0.
0-0. Oh!
Yeah.
I'm going to say United win. I think it's about 2-0. Feeling confident. Feeling confident. Cool. All right. Well, let's just do our clean sheets then. Oh, we sort of did the clean sheets with the predictions, didn't we? Really, so we don't need to do them. Cougar Cup pick for game week 1. You probably guess what mine is going to be.
I've got a feeling we've got the same person down here, which is awkward.
Oh, go on. You go first.
Well, Che Adams.
Oh, that is who I was going to go for.
Oh my God.
It's all right. I've got a backup.
Okay.
Andre Gray.
Right. Fair enough.
It's the battle of the 6 million strikers. Oh man.
Okay. Yeah. Like it.
Good.
Should we explain what that is anyway?
Yeah. Sorry.
So yeah, we'll pick a differential under 15% ownership. One player that we don't have ourselves in our team. So I might have to change that because I might still go with Adams.
What? Spoilers.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, player that we don't have in our team and then we'll just get their points, add them up each week. Just one player, and the winner, which was me last season, which was great. And
we're gonna do it monthly.
We'll do it monthly. Yeah, for sure. Monthly. Okay, fair enough.
Don't know what we're gonna do. We'll think of some sort of forfeit.
Yes.
Cool. All right. That wraps it up, doesn't it?
It does.
I just want it to be Friday now. I want it to be Friday. I want it to be about 11 p.m. I want to see the rank update. Just want to see how we're looking
after Salah's hat trick.
Yeah. What are you excited? What's the main thing you're excited for this weekend?
I don't know. I'm excited for the United game. I want to see Aaron Wan-Bissaka get that clean sheet and the top bonus.
Okay. All right. You've gone for that. I've gone for rank update night 1. All right. I think that about wraps it up. Thank you to everyone for joining us. We'll be back early next week with our game week. Sounds crazy to say, isn't it? Game week 2 preview show. Well, we're going to wrap up game week 1 as well. If you've got any questions in the meantime, please comment on the video about your teams. Kira and I are around to answer them. While you're down there, make sure you hit subscribe or tweet us, like I said earlier, at FPL Cougars. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And so, wow, we did it, Kieran. We made it through pre-season.
Yes, looking forward to it now. Just can't wait to get started.
Can't wait to get started, right. So until next week, it's goodbye from me.
Cheers and good luck, everyone.
Bye-bye.